LSD Day in Cottage 13, a building on the grounds of Spring Grove Hospital. That's closer to faith healing than medicine. The religious tone, the furnishings, the music that will be played through stereo earphones, all are explained as conditioners, measures to calm and reassure the mind that is being made sensitive to all impressions, that is suddenly exposed to chaotic sensations.
It's one thing to be a scientist, to be objective, detached. It's another thing to be a therapist. Psychotherapy is a human enterprise. It's in contact between humans. This is an intimate situation. One is exposed in a way that otherwise would never occur. There can't be distance or so-called objectivity. The commitment to a patient is perhaps the prerequisite ingredient. When I had first looked at one of the pictures, my son became alive in the picture, and it frightened me. There was actually a hair in the back of his head that was out of place, and I pushed it down, and then I felt that everything was all right and that he could go out and play if he wanted to. That was the feeling that came over me. The rose that was placed in front of me at times appeared to be very bright, alive, open, full, maybe breathing at times. At other times, when the doctor asked me about, well, let's get out of here, we'll go down to the bar and have a few drinks or something to that effect. And then he said, would you look at the rose? And when I looked at the rose, it shriveled up, turned black. Even the fern around it fell over. The rose was dead.
It's really pulsing. Is it ever pulsing? Wow. It's closing and opening.
In the same building, on another day, Peg McGinnis begins the 14-hour trial under LSD.
Straighter. Stronger. Shut up. No, I don't know which.
No, I wasn't going to say.
I thought you were going to say lie down.
No, I'll tell you when I say lie down, and then we don't talk. What I want you to do is look at the rose.
If I want to.
If you want to. And let the agony and the hurt that was in you during these years past flow out into it. What happens to the rose, babe? When it takes on your agony that was past?
It's beautiful as it opens. I just have to tell you about when I feel like I have no air, don't I?
Yeah, it'll pass if you don't focus on it. You'll go right through it.
Shut up and listen to music.
That's right. Be relaxed and stop thinking.
Sleep?
Sleep, that's fine.
Really afraid. Jesus Christ. I don't know of what, but boy, am I afraid. I could tell you 100,000,000 things I'm afraid of. They're all sharp. There were thousands of visual patterns of fear. And the first was breathing. I was enclosed and I died. I was terrified right through. Afraid of being thirsty, afraid of being alone. And I wasn't just alone for a little while. I was alone for a billion, trillion years.
Did you look in the mirror?
And then I was afraid of what time brought. And I was pockmarked, hideous, ugly, cobwebs and ugly and old and older and older until I was just bones old. I can tell you about women. They think there goes beauty, there goes love, and they're scared to death. I looked at the pictures and I saw myself in that child, in my daughter, with a hurt, scared. Let's go. And then I started to work my way up through solid rock, and I just broke through.
Let it come. Get all the grief out. All the hurt, all the guilt. Just let it come.
When you cry, you don't just cry for yourself, you're crying for your daughter, her daughter, and the ones that come. This is the tie-up with all people.
Get it all out, Peg, because this is where you're going to leave it behind. Let me be your guide, Ots. Just be. Let the music carry you. That's all. Get it out.
You know, see, these people are real too. Mike, Bruce, Gary.
Ots, the battle you're fighting is one that's in the past. You don't have to prove anything to your mother now. It's to yourself. The place for you now is on the couch, letting the music carry you. Let it do the house. Let this issue be, and it'll resolve us.
No.
Just lie down. And let me back in. I can help.
No.
Ots, you've taken head on the biggest thing that's bothered you. You've gotten it out in the open. Now just be.
Right, my friend?
Right. I want you to be as relaxed. Not to think. Just to be. Put the eyeshade on. Ots, don't keep me apart. Let me in. You're not alone. The conflict is in you, Ots. Give up to it, Ots. Ots, I want you to remember yesterday when we went over instructions for this. Enough figuring out for now, Ots. Surrender. You surrender.
Good God.
There was, at one time, a laughter that broke through, and I think it was the best laugh I ever had in my life. It was just tremendous emotional release, and I really felt wonderful at that time. It was just terrific just to laugh. At the end, I felt the great weight had been taken off of me. Instead of feeling like it was the end of something, I felt like it was the beginning, like it was something had opened up and things could be seen in a different light.
What does transfiguration mean?
Rebirth. You feel transfigured?
No, I feel reborn.
Evening. At the end of a strenuous 14-hour encounter between a patient and his own inner feelings, Cottage 13 becomes the scene of a family reunion. Otts and his wife, Jean.
I've been here.
Oh, were you? My family.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Would I like to tell me that?
You wouldn't believe it.
No, I don't think I would. I feel beautiful.
All right.
I feel squashed with beautiful. That is exactly the feeling of I kept saying, all right, so I'm squashed. To the side of the top, and then when you're, you still come through, there's a piece of you left. Most amazing experience, and I found God.
What did you say, girl?
I said I found God.
Yeah. It only comes after you find yourself.
I found a great big hunk of creation.
One week after this, Peg McGinnis was released from the hospital. By that time, too, Arthur King had left the alcoholics ward and gone home. The experiment at Spring Grove, LSD combined with psychotherapy, as it looks so far to the scientist in charge, Dr. Albert A. Kurland, Director of Medical Research, Maryland Department of Mental Hygiene.
I've been involved in research activities for a great many years now. And the behavioral changes, the thinking changes, the effect upon the mind, mentation, the feelings and emotions, the rapidity with which this thing works has been one of the most dramatic experiences that I've ever observed. Now, on the other hand, what the ultimate therapeutic meaningfulness of this will be is something that I don't know. I'm intrigued, I'm impressed, but I also am aware that this requires a great deal of study. Right now, the only thing I can say that it appears promising, but this may be based on my own enthusiasm, and so I would be somewhat suspicious until I had a lot more data.
There is some data on Peg McGinnis and on Arthur King. Their own stories, their own feelings, 6 months after LSD. Six months after treatment with LSD, 6 months after his release from the alcoholics ward at Spring Grove Hospital, Arthur King has started over. At the age of 33, he has gone back to school, something he talked about doing for years. In evening classes, he's studying accounting.
Which the largest borrowers can borrow monies.
Otts has a new job as an insurance examiner, but he says these are only signs of a more important change. Well, how have things been going since you came out of the hospital? Have you had anything to drink, for example?
No, I haven't. Nothing at all. And I haven't had any desire to drink anything.
How do you account for that?
Well, I think that before, there was always a conflict inside of me, and it had to be quieted down. But nothing's bothering me now. There's no buzzing going around in my head that's worrying me. I mean, the worries are all just the worries that everybody else has.
Did you get any insights into the very basic causes of that conflict you spoke of?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What were they? What was it that was causing you to live such a chaotic life before?
Well, there were some specific attitudes that were inculcated in me by my mother that I no longer need. And I'm sure if she were alive now, she'd be the first to say so.
Well, what sort of attitudes?
Well, attitudes that I shouldn't be close to people. I shouldn't associate, that I should stay more tied down to her. And it's no longer necessary in any way. And I think I would have always remained a child if, literally a child in the sense of not being myself, not making my own decisions, not running the show myself.
Specifically, in what ways is your life different now than it used to be?
Well, at home, I feel more a part of things. In the neighborhood, I feel more a part of things. I can remember we used to sit around and discuss what was going to become of the kids and how I hoped that they become very successful, and I hope that everything went well for them. And now when that comes up, I think that what's wrong with my becoming something? What's wrong with my doing things? I feel that I'm a person too, that I got a life to lead and a long way to go yet. And there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of enjoyment, a lot of things to see, and well, I just feel that, well, I'm a person too.
In the McGinnis family, this scene, routine in most households, represents a dramatic change. Peg McGinnis has rejoined her family, including the grandchild born when she was in the hospital. Peg has changed her hair color, but the most significant change has come in her relations with the members of her family. When you saw your wife just after the LSD treatment, could you tell any difference?
I felt that there was a vast difference in her reaction toward me.
What sort of difference?
Well, there was, I guess you can look at people and tell a difference in their look. But her look toward me was a look that I hadn't seen in years. And it was just full of love for me. And it was a wonderful feeling, because I'd been a long time without this.
When your wife came home after the LSD treatment, could you tell any difference?
Oh, golly, yes. I think that somewhere along the line, before she even took LSD, she knew that she was sick, but this didn't change what was going on in her mind about me until after she took the LSD.
When did you paint this picture?
I painted this the second month I was out. It isn't finished yet.
It is perfectly terrifying. Is that what you went through under LSD?
I didn't go through it. I was there. I was here and under LSD. This went on for 1,000,000 miles on both sides, and endless deep, and eternity onto, and it was just one of the fears I had buried, and it was a fear of being left alone. This is like a string of film, and I cut out one tiny block, but the string goes for 1,000,000 miles. This is just one block.
It's awfully hard to believe that an afternoon with LSD can change your whole life around. Is that what really happened to you?
Before I went to the hospital, I hadn't slept inside my house a whole night. I slept outside on the lawn or in the car because I thought I'd be murdered if I slept inside. I spent every waking moment trying to solve this terrible agony. And I cut off all connections with humanity. And what is it compared to that now? Now I enjoy life the way I should. And life is, it's so much fuller. I never dreamed, I didn't have the conception of what it would be like to receive love and to give love and to still be myself and not to have to earn it. Life is fine now.
Well, couldn't you get the same results from ordinary psychotherapy? Did it really take a drug to bring you to where you are now?
Well, I was given the words before, and psychotherapy is verbal. Understand? I was given the words, you are a scared kid. You are really frightened inside, but you've taken a lifetime to build a wall around it. I listened to the words, see? Now, in LSD, I experienced the words. I experienced it. All the fear that was trapped in me was released. It was hell, see, but I experienced it.
If you hadn't been prepared for it, if you hadn't gone through those weeks of preparation, would LSD have meant as much?
If I had taken LSD on my own, you mean, perhaps? If I hadn't had the surrounding and the confidence in Dr. Unger and the preparation, I would have been out there and never come back. I mean, if I was ill before, I would have been ill, it seems to me, beyond repair. Because the fear that was so deep, when it flourished, boy, it took over. And to a point beyond return. This is my own, not any professional, this is my own opinion. I would have been so frightened without the guidance and the trust and the preparation. It would have been a tragedy, horrible.
Do you have any desire to take LSD again?
Oh, no. Why? There's no need for it. Why?
LSD as science views it. Here is Dr. Joel Elkis, an authority on brain chemistry and director of the Department of Psychiatry at Johns Hopkins University. Let me ask you a question. We have just seen a patient of whom her husband said LSD simply changed hate to love.
Yes.
Is that really what happened?
Well, the love must have been there all the time. And the ways in which we often defend against love, which means an involvement, a real involvement, and therefore dependence on a person, is to withdraw or to change it to the other valency of hate. If you say it's changed hate to love, it is simply, the experience has simply brought the patient to a point where he can accept love and therefore the possibility of loss of love more.
But a drug did that.
A drug did that in a certain situation. A drug did it after very careful preparation of the patient, after work with the patient which allowed him to realize some of the possible profound misconceptions which he's had about himself. So, in this respect, a drug is very useful. But do not give the impression that a drug applied to a patient will change love to hate, because if that patient had hate, I think what you'd see is more hate. This drug is serious business. But what has happened is that this drug has been used in open settings, that claims and extravagant claims have been made for it, which are applied indiscriminately in particularly young people who in some way seek an instant paradise. The facts are that we should take this drug very seriously, that we should by all means control it and make it available to serious investigators, but that we should not simply, by emphasizing the negative aspects of this drug, swamp the very important potential which is there.
What we saw happen here at Cottage 13 seems worth taking seriously in exactly the way that Dr. Elkis suggests, as a possibility and as a warning. 6 months afterwards, Peg McGinnis has been restored to her family, and Arthur King has already beaten the percentages on alcoholism. Within 6 months after the conventional cures, 9 out of 10 have gone back to drinking. Spring Grove's figures suggest that they are getting results about 3 times as good as that. But the statistics are so sketchy and so short-term that they don't constitute any sort of proof. Our own sample, of course, is too small even to add up to a statistic. We followed 2 patients. and both happen to be doing fine, which couldn't be better news, but which leaves out the far more numerous cases in which LSD therapy has produced no beneficial results. The point is that even with PEG and OTS, there is no miracle cure, there is improvement. And it isn't a drug that did it, but an understanding of themselves, which they achieved with the help of the drug, achieved it under the closest supervision, and only after weeks of intensive psychotherapy. The drug is nothing without the psychotherapy. It can hardly take the place of that process that to so many people means years of probing. It is not, as Dr. Elkis suggests, it is not a form of instant psychotherapy, any more than it is a source of instant paradise. Yet something did happen here in Cottage 13, something that is still waiting to be explained, and it has to do with the potent mystery called LSD. It is serious, it is dangerous. It belongs in the hands of science, which understands the dangers, and yet also dimly sees the promise on that farthest frontier, the human mind. This is Charles Kuralt. Good evening.
The Spring Grove experiment filmed with the cooperation of the patients, their families, their doctors, at Spring Grove's State Hospital and the medical and legal officials of the state of Maryland. CBS reports LSD, the Spring Grove experiment, was filmed and edited under the supervision and control of CBS News.